Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I am Natalie Herbeck, and today we are exploring Oberlin. This is a town that is so rich in culture and in history, right in the heart of Lorain County. And let me tell you, whether you're going to grab a bite to eat, or maybe doing a little shopping, or just want to learn a thing or two, it's a great place to walk around and explore, and it's a great place for just about anyone of any age. So we're going to start things off with a little history lesson to find out how Oberlin came to be. So just off of the square, you'll find the Oberlin Heritage Center. It's basically a complex here of 3 different buildings, one of them being the Monroe House, which is where we are going to start. The Historical Society really came together to show you the history of this really unique town. So let's go in. Hello.
Hello.
You must be Liz.
I am.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
This house is absolutely beautiful.
Yes, this is the Monroe House. It was built in 1866. So the Monroes were, Mr. Monroe was a state politician and later a congressman for 10 years.
It is just stunning. Look at that staircase. It's beautiful. So can you give me a little tour of the house?
Sure, happy to.
That's the parlor, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's the parlor. So that's where you would invite all of the kind of the fanciest guests in town. So maybe the visiting minister, local politicians, or maybe your school teacher is coming by. So you would entertain them in your nicest looking room in the house.
Sometimes I swear I was born in I should have been born in this generation. It's just so, it's so interesting to hear the stories of way back when. So walking through here on the first floor, would this have been the living room?
Sometimes we call it a sitting room or a second parlor, but today in most people's families it would be what's called the living room or maybe your den. So a little more informal space, you'd have to look nice in the front parlor, but this is where you could kick back, read the newspaper, do some of your crafting if you're a woman. Right now we happen to have some special things up. We have a bicycle exhibit this month because we're having a group of high-wheel bicycle enthusiasts come later this month. So you
change it out?
Occasionally.
Seasonally, or okay.
Yeah, when there are special groups coming to town and they're very interested in a certain topic, we try to show them what we have.
It's a town that really, once you get to know the roots, it's so impressive.
Oh yeah, the history is amazing. Oberlin has ties to the anti-slavery movement. It was the first coeducational college in the nation. The Anti-Saloon League was founded here, which is how the country started to get prohibition. So ties to all of these national movements throughout the country.
Oh, it really is at the heart of things. Can we go through the dining room here?
Sure.
Wow, there's something about being in a house that was built back then it's grand. Even though it doesn't consume you, it's not so big, there's just something really grand about it.
Yeah, I think it's the spacing, even the windows, how much daylight they let in, the height of the ceilings, but also, wooden materials and things you don't see in many dining rooms or kitchens anymore.
They don't make things like they used to, right?
Exactly.
They don't. You want to go back into the kitchen? That would be my favorite spot. Oh, back here.
So this is the pantry, and we're heading into the back part of the house where more of the work happened in the household. And here we have the kitchen. Our kitchen does not look as historic because the house was moved in 1960 to save it from demolition. So the front part of the house is made to look more historic again, and this is more like what the caretakers might have lived like after the house had been moved.
And so we know that there's 2 other buildings here in the complex. Mm-hmm. What are those?
The next one over is the Little Red Schoolhouse. That was built in 1836. So it's Oberlin's oldest building, but it's also Oberlin's most frequently moved building. It's been moved about 5 times to save it at various points.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. And the third?
The third is the Jewett House. It's another brick house, but more from the Victorian period. So we talk about Oberlin's progressive era and how a young man from town invented the process for producing aluminum.
And all 3 people were able to go in and take tours?
Yep, we give tours year-round of the 3 buildings, and during the warmer months, we also give history walks around town.
You really will learn so much when you're in this town. We are just getting started with the show, too. I cannot wait to see the other bits and pieces that really make this town what it is today. Liz, thank you for giving us this tour.
Our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
As you walk around downtown Oberlin, checking out all the great stuff, you're bound to work up an appetite. Well, I've got a great place for you. You're in luck. It's a place that won't disappoint. It's brand new, and it's called The Corner Joint.
Well, the Corner Joint is the newest restaurant in Oberlin, and we offer American food, lunch, brunch, and dinner. So it's just the new place to be on the corner of College and Pleasant Street. We both have history in the industry. I've been doing this for quite some time, and I started in Atlantic City, New Jersey, where, you know, seafood right out of the ocean, right from the ocean to the plate. And then Brad was from San Francisco, where he obviously experienced a similar lifestyle, and then he went on and moved to Las Vegas for a short period of time where he worked at the Bellagio. So he got to see, he worked for Michael Mina, and at one of the best seafood restaurants around. And we actually both came with exes. We had, you know, our previous partners brought us here to Oberlin, which is very funny. Never thought I would be here in Oberlin. But we both took our experience and what we've learned, and again, after meeting the community and experiencing the kind of people and the food that they were looking for here in this very unique town, it just all fell into place. We're starting with lunch. We do soup and salads, you know, wonderful soup, fresh soup every day. Everything's fresh and local, sustainable, locally sourced. And then we're doing sandwiches. So Brad has his Reuben. That's something that he created and was passionate about. So his corned beef, that's one of our staples. We use Blue Rooster Bakehouse here, so we use their bread and their desserts, and it's just a beautiful combination of all these locally sourced and local companies and people that have come together to produce this amazing operation. So we do the lunch, we have dinner. Our dinner is fabulous, our dinner is insane, and then we have our brunch on the weekend. So we're just sustaining what we know.
This is our jerk chicken. It's chicken thighs marinated with jerk marinade, pineapple, red onion, and red pepper skewer with some lovely jerk sauce. I'm gonna put this in the oven, get it nice and glazed up. It's served over coconut red beans and rice.
Our menu changes often because we use what we have. So we don't have a freezer here, which is all fresh. So a lot of times we just use exactly what we have. We get rid of what we got and, you know, get it back in the next day. So the falafel burger is great. It's a clean option for vegetarians. We make it in-house, vegan, yes, and on our ciabatta bread. So we want you to leave happy, and we play some good music, we have fun here, we have a nice crew and a really friendly crew, so we want you to leave full, and everyone does. They leave pleasantly full, and they're happy, and they're also, you know, they're good. They're not looking for anything more. And then, of course, we offer Blue Rooster dessert, so you can get it all here. And we also have Caruso's coffee, so when you want some coffee with your dessert and after your delicious meal, we have it all.
The Corner Joint is located right here on East College Street, and don't go on Mondays, folks, they're closed. Still to come on New Day Cleveland, we're exploring Oberlin, and we're going inside the place that's been showing movies for nearly a century. Well, Dave, when you invited me to the Apollo Theater here in beautiful Oberlin for our New Day road trip, I was thinking the Apollo in New York City.
It's a little bit different.
Different
Kind of theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, different kind.
Which one's been around longer, you think?
Oh, you know, this one's just over 100 years old. So it's been since 1914 this theater opened up.
1914.
So yeah, it's pretty old. They're probably about the same age, honestly.
Yeah, right around the square here, right in downtown Oberlin. So it's a great place, an easy place to find. And why do you think this theater survived so long? I mean, most theaters like 1913,
Yeah.
gone.
This is the longest continually operating movie theater in Northeast Ohio, and it has just been an institution here in this in Oberlin, and the community just embraces it. The same family owned it for the vast majority of those years, and then the college bought it in 2009.
Yeah.
So, but we try to make sure that it's still part of the community and that people still want to come here every week.
Well, you know, Cleveland, I guess, is what, about an hour away, 45 minutes away?
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
45
yeah.
minutes away, and a bunch of our producers grew up in this area, and when we said we're going to the Apollo, they all
Yeah.
started telling stories about when they were a kid going
Yep.
to the Apollo.
Yeah.
You know, the popcorn at the Apollo, this at the Apollo, that at the Apollo.
Yeah, cheap movie date at the Apollo. Yep, absolutely. A lot of people have their first cheap movie dates here.
Yeah.
And it has changed a lot over the years, you know, from starting out as a silent theater that was showing vaudeville as well as movies, but then, then it had to get into the, get sound. That was a big thing back in the 30s when it got sound.
Yeah.
And in the 50s got a bigger screen for widescreen movies. And now, instead of it just being a single screen theater, it's got 2 auditoriums now. So it's had some changes, but it still is a big part of the community.
It has evolved.
It has.
And it's really cool to see the sort of like the Hall of Fame, the people who've had a chance to work here over the years. Because, you go back to all that time, all that time.
Yeah.
A lot of personalities have come through here.
Yeah. There's a door here in the theater that when people have worked here, they autograph it, so it has a little bit of, all the staff history is documented there.
And we should drop a few movie star names too, because we have to credit some people who have movie fame in helping keep the Apollo fresh.
Yeah. We had James Burrows is the namesake of the Mann Auditorium. It's the Burrows Theater, and Danny DeVito was a big part of when the renovation here happened.
Big part for a little guy.
He had a little guy with a lot of power.
Sure.
He donated some equipment here and helped a lot. He and Rhea Perlman, they were then big supporters of the theater, and of course, Lena Dunham is an alumni here, and she's been here back with some of her films, so it's been great.
I heard the name Zemeckis too. Did he have anything? I think maybe his kid went to school here.
We had Jonathan Demme. We had Jonathan Demme here. I don't remember if Zemeckis was ever here, but Jonathan Demme.
Well, you know how I am with name dropping.
I know you got all the big stars that you've got to have, interact with, like Dave Huffman.
Huffman, I love it. Well, I tell you what, you are a big part of the movie scene in the entire Cleveland area. You and Cleveland Cinemas.
Well, we try to be.
Just fantastic.
Thank you.
And to take on the Apollo and put it in your group. I mean, it's a gem, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We love it. A lot of our theaters are historical, like the Cedar Lee and the Capitol Theater, and certainly the Apollo. And like I said, the Apollo is the most historic since it's the oldest one.
How about for events? Like you have like tentpole events through the season?
Yeah, we do a lot of special things. We have our ongoing kind of cult series, the Late Shift series. We do the Met Operas are here as well. So there's a lot of things in addition to just mainstream big movies. We also show specialty films and one-night documentaries, and of course a lot of things that go on with the college and the film program there. We have student screenings, and just a lot of really interesting things are happening here at this theater.
And probably the most important question of all, like at the Cedar Lee, I always say that is the best popcorn in the movie world. How does the Apollo's popcorn measure up?
I would say it's very comparable. I just had some myself. That was the ultimate movie theater manager lunch. You just shove a handful in your face.
And what's your drink of choice here?
I'm a Diet Dr. Pepper guy. I'm an official pepper, so yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
You've heard it from the man.
All right, thanks, Dave.
What goes better with the movies than some delicious pizza? For over 30 years now, Lorenzo's here in Oberlin has been serving up some of the best pies throughout Northeast Ohio. And let me tell you, they have the awards to prove it.
Lorenzo's is a local pizzeria here in Oberlin, Ohio. We've been here since 1982. We pride ourselves on the quality of all of our foods, especially our pizza. What makes us different is the fact that we are able to use, and we insist on using only the best ingredients, from our flour, which is an unbleached, unbromated flour, to grande cheese, which is one of the best cheeses you can get, to Stanislaus tomatoes, which is a very, very high quality California tomato. We've won the best of Lorain County, and we did our wood-fired pizza at the Cleveland Pizza Fest, and we were able to win best pizza, best sauce, and we came in second with our Spinato pizza. So we were very, very, very excited about that. First one would have been our deluxe pizza, which basically has all of our meats and our vegetables on it. The second pizza would have been our pizza margarita, and that basically is the same pizza we sell off of our wood-fired truck, where it uses the fresh mozzarella cheese, the fresh basil, the San Marzano tomatoes, and it's our in-house crust versus the Neapolitan crust. And that has become a very, very popular pizza. It's very mild, it's very flavorful. You can taste all these really high-quality ingredients on their own. And the third one was our Spinato pizza. And that was one we came in second at the Pizza Fest for. And that's very basic also. We use a nice garlic butter. We use fresh diced tomatoes. We use a seasoned fresh spinach, along with our house mozzarella cheese and bacon on our house crust. It's a very popular pizza, very simple, very good. We have pasta dishes. We have a very, very, very good lasagna dinner that's very popular for our catering as well as in-house. We do fresh chicken parmesan. We have a lot of different types of salads. that pretty much covers our menu. It's a very simple menu. We don't really try to deviate a lot. We want to do a few items and we want to do them well. So we keep it, we keep it small. My son is a very, very good chef, and he's able to really, bring our ingredient quality out with what he does to food. He also is in charge of our catering division, which we build around our wood-fired pizza oven. It's a little bit different from Lorenzo's. It's pizza napolitana, and it's a different type of dough, and it's tomatoes are from Italy. We make an in-house mozzarella for it, fresh basil, and then we incorporate that oven in a lot of our catering. We do wood-roasted chicken, wood-roasted wings, everything that we try to do for our catering. The oven, it's very involved in that. We have people who've been coming here for 30-some years. They bring their grandchildren in, their great-grandchildren in, and my joke is the first thing I do is as soon as the kids start eating breadsticks, I make sure they can have them, and I'm hoping that they'll remember those breadsticks and come back for them, for the next generation too. So we've been here a long time. We have people who've been coming in for over 30 years, and we've become very, very, very close friends. Not just customers, but friends.
Lorenzo's is right in downtown Oberlin, and they are open 7 days a week for lunch and for dinner. When we come back, we are taking our adventures here in Oberlin to new heights. Welcome back to our road trip here in Oberlin. Such a quaint little town. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. And right now, if you're the type of person that likes a little bit of a nature adventure, you can check out Common Ground.
Common Ground was kind of a vision our founder had to create a space for people to come experience and self-reflect and be immersed in nature. It's about personal, professional development. We host workshops. It's really a retreat center in essence. And then we kind of have approaches where we look out to, like I said, personal professional development, personal growth, self-reflection. We have corporations come out here, we have youth groups come out here. It's really just an opportunity to unplug and reconnect with yourself, with each other, opportunities to bond with your family, bond with coworkers, and we do that through a whole variety of programs.
Does anybody want chocolate?
We run a summer day camp. That's kind of our flagship program. We've been doing that for 23 years. So our summer camp runs 6 or 7 weeks out of every summer. We get kids from all over the county, from beyond the county. It's a very diverse population of kids, which we're very excited about. We run buses into Lorain, Elyria, and Oberlin to get those kids that typically don't have the opportunity to get out of their 6-block reality. So our summer day camp is for kids that are 6 to 14, and we do a teen adventure portion of that camp as well. Leadership development, adventure focused for kids 15 to 17 as well. The best avenue for folks to check us out is our website. That's commongroundcenter.org. That's where we post everything. They can register for our camps, they can register for our workshops to look and book. Same thing with our canopy tour, zip line. And it is educational as well. It's forest ecology. Groups that want to learn more about the trees and the habitat they're zipping over, we can spend more time talking about that. We train our guides pretty intensely on our property and the types of trees and the history of the property. And some groups would rather just zip and have an adrenaline rush, so we talk less with those groups, which is fine, it's all good. We also offer, with our canopy tour, which is kind of unique, is a STEM program. So we got STEM groups, we want to reinforce engineering concepts, what goes into a build of a zipline canopy tour. We got suspended bridges, a suspended staircase. The last zip's, I think, over 750 feet long. You hit about 30, 35 mile an hour coming down that last one. But really unique about us is you never come back down on the ground in our canopy tour zip line. You're up in those trees for a good 2.5 hours, which is really a testament to the design it took to make that happen. Our home base is Lorain County, but as far as the canopy tour and the adventure challenge, we reach a farther and farther audience every year. So it's really accessible to Cleveland. You can jump on Route 10 to 480 or Route 2 and head on into Cleveland. Like I said, we can get to Cleveland in 40 minutes from here. So it is really closer than a lot of people realize to pop out here and really seems like a whole different world. You know, 40-minute drive can take you to a whole different place mentally. We're all about experiential activities, immersing people in nature, and just providing opportunities for them to try what they choose to try. So what that means and what they take away is different for everybody.
If you would like to come and visit Common Ground and maybe check out a canopy tour of your own, you can go online to their website and book your adventure.
Okay, it's time for some food, and when you're in Oberlin, I think the Sturck family has had it under control for decades. They have been in the catering business. Well, good food, how about a good restaurant? So they started the Brickyard Bar and Grill, and of course John is here, Shelley is here, but running the bar, behind the bar, making some magical drinks, we've got the son, Sean. How do you do?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, and what are you doing? What are you doing breaking eggs here in the bar?
Getting ready to make a whiskey sour.
I thought maybe we were going to have breakfast here or something, like you're going to scramble some eggs. So there's actually egg white in the whiskey sour?
Yep, a little egg white, put a little bit of lemon juice in there, some simple syrup to sweeten it up.
Great.
And it doesn't get much more complicated than that, and then you just add the liquor.
Mm-hmm. Somebody told me that you don't get any premixes. You make all the stuff yourself and fresh flavors and all that kind of stuff.
Yep, sure do.
Hey, while you're throwing that together here, I see something that looks like a Long Island iced tea here.
Yep.
So what goes in Long Island iced tea?
A little bit of everything. You got vodka, rum, tequila.
That's a little bit of everything.
Some lemon juice, simple syrup.
And this one looks like it's got a little Mexican heritage, huh?
Yep, that's a margarita there.
So this is an old-time drink right here.
Oh
whiskey
yeah.
sour?
Yep, and it's important that you shake it with that egg white in it without the ice. It kind of froths it up a little bit.
So I'm going to talk to your mom about the food. I heard the food here is pretty good.
Oh, it's great.
You grew up eating it, right?
Yep, since I was born.
Yeah, so you look like you turned out all right to me.
I think so.
How's this drink going to turn out?
It's going to be delicious.
Oh yeah. Does your mom like those?
No.
Okay, I won't take her that.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask her.
What food should I ask her about?
The burgers. The burgers and wings are good.
Hey, so I heard you guys have been doing catering for years and years and years.
My mother-in-law started a catering business 46 years ago.
So what do you think it is that made the catering business so solid, man? I mean, and then makes you want to go into the restaurant business?
Good homemade cooked food, good quality food.
So I asked Sean a couple things. So what should I ask your mom about the food? He says, the burgers. The burgers are
Burgers
the best.
are amazing. We actually were nominated in the top 20 of best burgers in Northeast Ohio recently. Our burgers are a custom blend of short rib, ground brisket, and short rib.
That's excellent.
So they're amazing. The meat is the quality is amazing.
It's almost like eating a steak in a way.
It is. It is.
Yeah, and I love the toppings. You guys have a pretty good variety of toppings.
We have a lot. Yes, we have a lot of different unique burgers.
Yeah. I'm always a pasta kind of guy. I know that doesn't sound that casual, but pasta can be casual and can be pretty fancy too.
We do. We have a Gulf pasta. It's a really nice. It's kind of it shows you that we can do a little bit more of upscale other than just burgers and wings. It's got some shrimp and clams and chorizo sausage in it.
So the chorizo makes it a little spicy.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, I always like pasta. It is great stuff.
Yeah.
And then what other kind of things do you make?
He's going to show you our short rib nachos.
Ah, boy, that's a great idea.
Yeah, those are short rib with slow roasted Thai barbecue sauce. It's become a favorite here. I tried to take the plate away from somebody when they had nothing but the sauce left, and they almost smacked my fingers because they were dipping the sauce. So you can't take that plate away.
They growl at you.
Yeah, that's one you can't take away.
Yeah, so how do you feel about the restaurant business? It's called the Brickyard Bar and Grill.
Yeah, we changed it about a year ago to Brickyard Bar and Grill. It's doing well. I enjoy it. It's something a little different from the standard catering that we've been doing for so many years, and it just opened up some more opportunities for us. And it gives us a great great thing to do here in Oberlin and able to employ a lot more people.
That's great. Yeah. Sean loves it. You love it.
Yes.
I bet you'll love it. When we come back, we're in Oberlin and we're going inside one of the best college art museums in the country.
Welcome back here to our road trip to beautiful Oberlin. And I mentioned at the beginning of the show that this is a town that is very rich in art and culture and history. Well, there's no better place to explain that than where we are right now, and this is a Frank Lloyd Wright House. I am so excited to be here. I have Jill Greenwood here with me from Oberlin College. Oberlin College does own the house now.
We do, yes. It was given to us by Ellen Johnson. We're the Weltheimer Johnson House after the people who commissioned the house, and then Ellen Johnson who gave it to the college.
I mean, it is just really neat to know. I mean, there's not many around Northeast Ohio to know that you have a Frank Lloyd Wright House here. It must be such a draw.
It's a very exciting time. Last year was the 150th anniversary of Frank Lloyd Wright's birth, and next year is the 60th anniversary of his death.
When was this house built?
Sure, so it was commissioned by the Weltheimers in 1947. The plans were drawn up in 48, and the house the family moved into in 1949.
So I know that, I feel like I know so much about him, but yet there's so much I don't know. Let's just explain what this house, how it was constructed, what it's built like, maybe some of the things that really make Frank Lloyd Wright houses stand out.
Sure, this is an example of a Usonian house. And for Frank Lloyd Wright, Usonian houses were sort of an idea for modernist living at an affordable price point. So these aren't the expensive homes of falling water, but these homes were made for the average American family and part of his philosophy for city planning. So they're L-shaped in nature generally, flat roofs. The heating is radiant heating in the floors, very large windows, and really sort of incorporating some sort of important ideas about sustainable living before that we even talk about it today. So he was doing this very early.
So at the forefront of things. And I love that the hallway is such a narrow, kind of dark, enclosed hallway, and then you walk into these bedrooms and it's just filled with those bright windows, lights, floor to ceiling. It's really neat how he was able to construct what his idea was behind that.
Exactly, and that's also part of his principle of compress release. So you're in the dark, narrow hallway and you go into the light-filled bedrooms, and the house is also angled on the lot, so it's taking advantage of passive solar, and so there's many things about this that I think modern architects, Frank Lloyd Wright lovers are very interested in seeing.
So this location is just one of many here that are rich in history. I know another one is the Allen Art Museum. That place, you have to get into that just a little bit, because that is a place I think that is a must-stop for people when they come to Oberlin.
Absolutely. So the museum is 100 years old as of last year, so it has a wonderful collection of over 15,000 works of art from many different cultures and time periods. It's sort of a wonderful sort of cultural walk through the ages. We always have rotating exhibitions from our permanent collection, and there really are some showstopper works of art to see.
So when you go in there, what can you expect to find?
We will always have on exhibit some of the highlights of our collections, the Monets, the Terburgen, which is many people even come from Europe to see that work of art.
Wow.
We have an amazing collection of Japanese woodblock prints. Our contemporary gallery is always filled with sort of the highlights of modern and contemporary art.
So, and that is open year-round, so that is something you can come here anytime and visit. Now, I know the Frank Lloyd Wright House here is only open certain months out of the year, correct?
Correct. So it's open April through November, the first Sunday of the month, and we do take reservations for that. They're available online.
So again, if you're a history buff or you just want to learn a little bit more about Oberlin, just two of the many great spots that you can come and visit here. Jill, thank you so much for having us.
Okay, if you're looking for a place to satisfy your sweet tooth, I've got the perfect place for you. It's called the Blue Rooster Bakehouse. They make all the stuff themselves, sweet treats from scratch.
Blue Rooster Bakehouse is a place to come and hang out and feel cozy and comfortable and loved.
Do you need that cut and toasted? Yeah, that'd be great. And any cream cheese?
It just gradually grew and more folks found out about us, and obviously the college students, but also the local people are so supportive of small business. We do approximately 75 different flavors of cupcakes, and probably that many as cakes as well. And it changes literally daily. Some of our most popular ones are lemon blueberry, which is my favorite. It's a cream cheese frosting. We do a German chocolate, like the old-fashioned stir for 15 minutes German chocolate cake. We do a porch cake that my grandma used to make. It's a yellow cake with chocolate chips and pecans and chocolate buttercream and caramel. And she used to kick us out on the porch to make us eat it. So it's porch cake, but that's a favorite. And he makes everything that I want to eat.
The chocolate croissants and the lemon croissants and cookies, and we do 4, 5, 6 kinds of brownie depending on the week.
And breads.
and all sorts of breads.
I feel like if you walk into a bakery and you see really yummy cakes, but you don't want the whole cake, you're always like, man, I wish I could just have a slice of that. And the same thing, like if it's your grandma's house, she's going to give you a slice of cake. So we knew from the very beginning that that's what we wanted to do, and we wanted to do the glass domes.
Offering things by the slice or by the piece is definitely one of the things I think that really makes us unique. You get to constantly, just kind of experiment back in the kitchen and come up with new ideas, new things to try up front, and then get to watch the customers' reactions when they try them, it always seems to be things we like to eat ourselves.
Always.
But you never know what anyone else is going to think of it. So it's great just to try something new and then get to come out here, especially the college students. They don't mind being our taste testers. So there's a crew of them, especially in the morning, that will come just waiting to see what new is going to come out of the kitchen that day.
Yeah. We do the Runcible Spoon jams. It's a local gentleman. He makes the jams for us. We also get our coffee beans local.
Yeah, it's called My Best Friend's Coffee. They're just right outside of Woburn. Retired military couple, actually. I think that we have the best coffee around.
It's really, really good. And then we have t-shirts made. Our t-shirts are actually made in Guatemala. Both of our children are adopted from Guatemala. So our t-shirts are made in Guatemala. A young woman that works there started a company with local women, and they actually sew the t-shirts and do a screen print. So it supports them and gives them a job in Guatemala, so that's super close to our heart. And they're super soft, like jammies. It's just really cozy, and you can stay as long as you want and just relax and enjoy it. Like, just take time out of your day and have yummy stuff.
Hey, it's easy to find. The Blue Rooster Bakehouse is right here on Main Street in downtown Oberlin. And if you're gluten-free or vegan, they got stuff for you too. We're not done exploring Oberlin yet. When New Day Cleveland returns, luxury and eco-friendly. It's the Hotel at Oberlin. Well, we're having a great time in Oberlin on our road trip, and this lady right here, Cindy Bissett, you have a brand new hotel for anyone who comes here, especially the parents of students, which there was hardly anywhere to stay before.
Absolutely. Well, our hotel opened 2 years ago, and we are a geothermal hotel, great on sustainability. This is part of what was the Oberlin project, and they just want this to be a green community.
Okay, so you put yourself in a real jam here. You bring up geothermal, so now you're going to have to explain what that means, a geothermal hotel. Do I have to wear special clothing?
No, you don't. So right behind you, David, we have 48 wells that run about 400 feet deep and 7 miles of tubing.
So it's real warm way down 400 some feet deep.
Yeah, well, it's cold, so it comes through ours, and then we warm it up. We have a digital heating system, radiant heating and cooling, that will heat and or cool the water.
So if I had x-ray vision like Superman, I look down there, I'd see all kinds of pipes and wells and tubes.
Yes,
and that makes this run like no other hotel in town.
No other hotel. We are one of 5 hotels in the country, and we are working towards being a U.S. LEED Platinum certified hotel.
So it's a great hotel in that respect, and I must say in another respect, it's a beautiful place. When you walk in, very modern.
Yes.
It's a great big open beautiful floor plan. The walls are beautiful. I like the orchid garden, sort of like in the middle.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
We just, again, sustainability, flowers around the area.
Nice rooms.
Beautiful rooms. Artwork from the Allen Art Museum, which is right down the street from us.
How many rooms?
We have 70 guest rooms.
70
guest rooms. Out of that, we have 6 suites. So some special options for VIPs.
You have something else I'm very interested in too.
Yes, we do. 1833 Restaurant.
1833. Why do they call it that?
That's the year the city and the college was founded.
Who's cooking?
That would be our chef, Jim Barnhart. He is local, here from Oberlin, and he's great, and you will love him.
So we're going to make our seared Lake Erie walleye dish with cream corn, chanterelle mushrooms, and summer beans. Super delicious dish. I like to season the flat top instead of the fish, get a nice even distribution, and we pan sear that, or sear that right here on our flat top, and press it just for a second to make sure the skin doesn't curl. So we get our butter foaming, And we just saute those mushrooms a little bit. Touch of salt. Fresh crack of pepper on those. And after they're about half cooked, we add in a little delicious Ohio sweet corn. So we're sauteing that sweet corn up with the chanterelle mushrooms. I have these nice summer beans called haricot vert. We add them right into that saute. We make a really nice creamed corn here. We basically take that same sweet corn we sauteed with, and we just make like a classic bechamel sauce. I like to plate this dish with a ring mold. Pull out my tongs here, my slotted spoon, and we just put those sweet potato dumplings right down in the bottom. Really simple, just like that. Take the chanterelle mushrooms, and I just stick those chanterelles just right around the outside. And we take that, that chanterelle sweet corn and summer bean, and we just put it right on top of those sweet potato dumplings with the espelette on them. And we just place that walleye right in the center of the dish there. And then we just take a little popcorn shoot from my good friend Farmer Lee Jones out in Milan, Ohio, and we just put a few popcorn shoots right on the dish. So here you have it, our pan-roasted Lake Erie walleye.
So Cindy, I guess we want to remind some people about some other great things about the hotel at Oberlin. Apollo Theater, sort of a close relationship, right?
Absolutely, and we have a dinner and movie package at the hotel, so it's a great night out.
A lot of great things here. We're right on the corner. We're downtown Oberlin. You can walk around this quaint little beautiful town. It's a lovely park out there. Speaking of park, there's parking outside, not only for your automobile, but
For your bikes as well.
for your bikes as well. Hotel Oberlin. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Have a great day.
Well, what's a road trip without doing a little shopping, right? The Cobbler Candle Company happens to be right here in the square. It's a family business that has quality products made right here in Oberlin.
When you come into the Cobbler Candle Company, our main focus is our candles, but we are much more than that. We are gifts, we have accessories, we have jams, jellies, peanut brittle, all the way to tooth fairy pillows, homemade kitchen items, but you'll find a lot of love in this store because a lot of it's been handmade by local people. Jewelry, we have mittens in the winter for warmth, we have baby hats, we have little stuffed animals for the kids and little tutus. So we go way beyond the candles, and that's actually where it started, and it all somehow ties in together, from our snowmen at Christmas to our different seasonal candles to our seasonal displays. You could probably find just about anything, and you never know what you're going to find either when you come in here because it's all so different, and we do like to mix it up a bit to make it fun for the customer too.
Well, I make most of them the jarred candles, so my main focus is creating the product. It's a matter of coming up like a cookbook, like a recipe, and you know, what colors to blend to create a certain color, or what scents to blend to create a certain blend. We try to stay very literal with our scents, so if it's blueberry, we call it blueberry. If it's cinnamon, we call it cinnamon, you know, for the most part. We had been just doing wholesale out of a small store in North Ridgeville. You know, this came available and seemed like a good location and a nice quaint area here with a lot of individual stores and things like that. And so we went ahead and gave it a try.
I try to make it more than just your average retail store in the fact that I like to make the displays as if it was in your home, and to make it a little bit more visually appealing so that you can visualize, oh, I could do this with that, or rather than just sitting on a shelf in a stack of different things.
We have a little over 40 different vendors in our store that hand make all of our items. We have, I would say if I had to put a percentage on it, like 90% of our items are handmade. Of course, all of our candles, our oils, our room sprays, our foam soaps, all that's made by us. And it's all Lorain County. We have a couple vendors that are a little bit further, but it's all Ohio based. So you're really supporting not just our family, but I mean, you're supporting, you know, over 40 different families just in our store alone.
We do Christmas in July, but we do have our snowmen and our pine candles. Yes, we do actually keep them out all year, not a whole full display, but people do come in here specifically asking for one of our specialties, our snow and cake candles and our LEDs, which we do have year round, but the store at Christmas and fall is one of my favorites. We go all out at Christmas. We try to turn it into a winter wonderland. We have our pumpkin faces in the fall. We have our 4th of July berry candles, the red, white, and blue. On Mother's Day, on Valentine's Day, we have our really pretty red hot cinnamon hearts. So we try to have something for every holiday. At Easter, we try to go with all of the really pretty spring colors and keep everything going and rolling right along with what everybody likes. So yeah, we try to keep up as much as we can with all the seasonal aspects too of it. It's fun to come in here because I try to change it up because you never know what you're going to find.
Still to come, we're wrapping up our trip to Oberlin at a shop with some of the most unique gifts from around the world. Our final stop in Oberlin takes us to a place called Bead Paradise. They've got treasures from all around the world, and believe me, you check this place out, you're going to take something home.
Bead Paradise, we consider sort of an alternative department store. We have contemporary women's clothing, we carry lots of handmade jewelry made by myself and my mother and my sister, as well as a few jewelers around the world. We sell purses and scarves, and then we also sell a full line of beads. So we have beads from around the world, findings, chain, all sorts of new Swarovski crystal and things for seed bead weaving. Our whole bead section has just grown tremendously over the years. We started as a really small store, and we sell a lot of unique beads that you won't find everywhere. My mom and I travel together. Sometimes we travel overseas, but we mostly go to one huge gem show, or bead and gem show that's in Tucson, Arizona. And people travel from all over the world, sometimes just once a year, to sell at this show. And so we buy things from many different countries in Africa, all over Asia, even some things in Europe. We carry parts from Germany, we carry parts from Austria. So you're really gonna find, something from everywhere in the store. So you're buying beads back here to create your own design, and we're here to help you with design tips and advice. A lot of us make jewelry here in the store, who work in the store. We really try to encourage people to tap into their own creativity. You don't have to feel stifled by it. You don't have to feel like there's only one way to make things. There's just a million ways to design something. So we always want to encourage people to be their creative selves. A lot of women who come in here start selling their jewelry eventually, which is a really empowering way to feel like you're, making a living from your creative outlet. My mother, who opened the store 30 years ago, retired, and she retired from the retail store, so I'm buying that business from her. But she kept her website, so we have a full collection of our antique beads online at beadparadise.com, and my mom is really focusing in on that, which she's super excited about. She's always been a great collector of beads, and she's an incredibly talented jeweler as well, and she's expanding her jewelry into online sales and expanding into other places. So I think she's really enjoying her retirement so far. We carry a lot of clothing lines that are American made, which is hard to find nowadays. And we try to also carry lots of things that have natural fibers, so cottons, linens, wools. And we also try to have a price point that's a little bit more reasonable in terms of a boutique. So a lot of our things range from $40 to $100 for American made things, as opposed to, and then a few things that go over $100. I've grown up in this business, and a lot of the people who've worked here have worked here for many years, and I feel like we're a really tight-knit community of women. But then within our surrounding community of Oberlin, as well as into the Cleveland area, we have so many customers who've been shopping with us for just years and years, and we know them by name, and we know their stories, and we've just helped them for, find beads or find clothes that they love, and we feel like they're all part of our lives, which is really nice.
Bead Paradise is just one of many stops, restaurants and shops along College Street, so stop in and check it out. Well, I hope you enjoyed our road trip to the heart of Lorain County, just 40 minutes from Cleveland, Oberlin, the home of Oberlin College, which is world famous. People from all around the world attend this college. And of course, what I like about Oberlin, it's like going back in time a little bit. The beautiful square, the lovely shops and restaurants around the square. And if you haven't been here in a few years, there's a whole lot new and more to do, even zip lining if you'd like to do that. For Natalie Herbick, I'm David Moss, and we'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.